The less popular Disney sequel, The Hunchback, after all. Well, it's nearby at least. Hopefully I can find a drugstore nearby. Maybe that one. That's the one in front of the theater. I already went there though, didn't I? That's a food place then. Shit. That's a drugstore, I think. I'm just trying to find where my bandages are hiding. I can't find my bandages. You won't like me without my bandages. I can't see anything without my bandages. Stop it. Why does the plague chase me? It's creepy. I do not have a lot of stuff in that screen, do I? I bet that was the brown one. Damn it. It's pretty brutal if it comes behind you, because how do you even see it coming at that point? Oh god. Like it stops if you don't it stops if you stop moving. I'm like, cool, great mechanic. What if I don't see it in the first place though, because it's behind me? I don't know how it found me from behind. Yeah! It's not a lot. Oh, it's the only one too. It's just the one bandage. Not amazing. I'm gonna go to kid territory soon, so at least maybe I'll get to get some other drugs or trade the boy items off or something. Yay. So I can immediately use it up. Good. My immunity is fucked, isn't it? There we go. Let's just take a chunk out of my health while I drink another one of my really good ones. Gonna have to make more of those. I finally ran out, but they're easy enough to make. Just gotta sit down and actually churn out the process of putting in the right ones over and over again. Excuse me, no. I've been surprised by how little brewing has been in the story so far. In fact, the biggest use of it so far was that one time they wanted me to make a whole bunch of things to give to Notkin's crew. That was like the biggest use of my actual Haruspex stuff so far, I feel like. I don't know if I have bullets to shoot this guy with. Is there one on the gun? Let's find out. That's embarrassing. There we go. Wow. That's some close range missing right there. Wish y'all didn't see that. This area is plagued too. Yeah, whoa, weird triangle. What's up with that? Trying to stay off the main path when I can. Due to the plague. Yep, that's why. That's a drugstore right there, I believe. And that's a clothing store. I smell a rat. Are you chasing me that closely? Oh, you were on me. Now I was being chased from behind again. Hey, kid. Oh, god damn it. How do you feel about bartering? That's an expensive one. That's the 1/3 one though, right? Yeah, it's a pretty good one. There we go. Trying to offload some of these items because I don't get enough chances to trade them. Please sell me bandages. There's not enough drunks in this game. Not for my purposes. You don't sell... Oh, you're the one that sells too many tourniquets. The tourniquets are not worth it. They're expensive and they're shockingly ineffective. Your health bar moves so little when you use them. So this is another example of a discrepancy in the timeline. We have Aglaia Lilich meeting the Hunchback, but there was no time for the Hunchback to be met by Lilich because she would have been dead. Or he would have been dead, I mean. The Hunchback died way sooner in the original campaign. Who the hell are you? Who are all these people? There's so many of you. And Aglaya's not here. You're here for the same reason as we are, aren't you? Seems like we'll have to wait some more. Hopefully we'll get a chance to neutralize her with a single strike. Sever her spine with a precise scalpel slice. So to speak. Undercut her. What? Aglaya vowed to punish the Cains for persecuting Reuben and thus allegedly preventing him from making the medicine that could save us all. Can you imagine? The hypocrisy. Oh, but we'll stand up to her. How exactly are you planning to stand up to her? By standing proudly on a scaffold? You just wait. Victor will find a way to cut her claws. He knows whose skeleton lies in her closet. She can dream all she likes about persecuting the creator of the medicine, but her scheme will fall through if her game is exposed. We had no sympathy for Reuben, yet now we're on his side. Wait a second. Are you telling the truth? She wants to get rid of the creator of the panacea? You need proof? Speak to Victor then. We are only here as a resistance force. To hell with the upcoming tyranny. To hell with the hypocritical investigators covering up personal agendas. Such an inquisitor will do nothing for our town. I hope Victor's in. Oh, we're getting around quickly. We're uncovering a conspiracy. We're not even acknowledging the bodies. Hey, dead people. Oh no, I have no idea what's going on either. Talk to the guy over there though. I doubt he's going to be any more help to you than I am. But I'm only here out of a sense of camaraderie. That's commendable. I'm only here out of a sense of camaraderie. You're here to murder a woman. You should have better reasons than that. What the fuck? They don't even know what's happening. They're just stupid people. Great. Alright, Aglaya, people are already planning on murdering you, and goddamn, you are a hard person to track down. This would be a very different game with cell phones. Half of the game is spent trying to track down people you can't find as they move from place to place, invisibly and unseen. I should search that. To no avail. Hey Victor, don't see you much in this campaign.
Who is it walking upstairs?
You have I guess you do have an upstairs. I don't know where the stairs are, though. I don't know where the stairs are for any of your houses. You see, Burrock, the wheel of fortune takes unexpected turns every now and then. What a strange coincidence. Is it even a coincidence at all? We were expecting the experienced Orf, or the resolute Karminski, and yet they've sent Aglaya Lilich of all people. How is that strange? Well, for one thing, Aglaya Lilich is my late wife's sister. Oh, well, that's a major detail right out the gate for the Haruspex campaign. Did that come up or not? I can't remember. I know that, but I can't remember if I know that because people told me or not. That's the difficulty at times, is people just say things. Because I feel like it somehow didn't come up in the Bachelor campaign. We could think ourselves lucky, were it not for an old mutual grudge between the sisters that persisted despite the difference in age. It's a terrible, hopeless feud that even the elder sister's death has done nothing to assuage. It is a coincidence. I fear that too many personal interests will get in the way of Aglaya's duty here. None of these personal interests being remotely favorable for us. I think Aglaya Lilich regards this expedition as a mere pretext for revenge. Since when are Inquisitors allowed to have feelings? Some are. You see, it's only getting stranger from here. I've been informed of another strange detail by a person from the capital who I trust. According to him, the High Tribunal of the Inquisitors' Collegium has sentenced Aglaya Lilich to death. What? There are three possibilities here. 1. My information is incorrect. 2. She has come here of her own accord, having disposed of the real Inquisitor and usurped their authority. If anything, she has nothing to lose anymore, but that's too hard to believe. Well, what about the third possibility? The third, and most likely, possibility is that the powers that be have granted Aglaia a last chance to redeem herself by giving her an all but hopeless mission. It makes sense. Her chances of survival here are quite low to begin with. This version seems to be the best one for us, and the worst one for you. Why? Because the last thing she needs is competition, my friend. An Inquisitor's job is to find a bold solution to an impossible problem. A solution so smart, so out of the box, that its very outlandishness, provided of course that it proves efficient, would more than justify their acting with impunity. That's why they are needed in the first place. You've robbed Aglaia of the chance to prove her worth, and I'm afraid she is already aware of that. I'm no competitor to her. What about your panacea? The Bachelor has told me there's only one tiny step left for you to make. If that's not the solution of the problem, what is? Were it not for these unfortunate tribulations poor Dr. Rubin had to go through because of us, you would have created it already, wouldn't you? No, I wouldn't have. Well, then you can stand before the Inquisitor with a clear conscience. You won't be able to avoid it anyway, unless you're considering fleeing the town, of course. I'm considering nothing of the sort. He is probably already at the cathedral. All I can do is wish you luck. Fortune has been kind to you of late. Perhaps it will continue to shower you with abundant gifts. If you go to the cathedral, I'd say the odds of your survival and non-detainment are 3 to 7. I should hope so.
Bachelor didn't find the source of the disease, yet he is forgiven. This doesn't explain much, though.
Take courage. She is only human. I'm yet to hear someone doubt my courage. All this just to find out she's at the fucking cathedral. The place we started at. I've spent all day trying to track her down, and she's just back where we started. I'm like, god damn it. I haven't even resolved that much. I encountered a side quest at the termitary, but I've mostly just tried to chase her down. I've basically gotten a chance to see what her daily tasks were that she went around with. Like, she's been busy, and I've just been chasing her around town. But as the Haruspex, I've accomplished nothing that is of consequence that he did. I've just been hearing about her.
What?
The most important thing might be that I can expose. Most important thing is probably that I can tell her about the impending murder that is being planned for her, and maybe that helps me. The second to last stop's probably the most important one. The power that makes some of us submit to the will of another is overwhelming, isn't it? Who can call themselves free in our time? Each of us is a mere pawn in someone else's game. Each is blind and deceived. Like who? The proud bachelor who had just been speaking to me is absolutely convinced that he's free, but my worst misgivings have come true. He was nothing but a puppet in the hands of the powers that be. The target he's chosen at someone else's advice was worthy, but his righteous arrow returned to strike him in the back. I don't understand. Abusing someone else's integrity is despicable. Despicable. And I know who's behind all that. Those that have secured my fate will not hesitate to condemn the other envoys. One of them has already entered the stage. The other is making the final preparations. I can already hear the clanking of his battalion's guns. And so the Inquisitor finds herself trapped between a learned man and a destroyer. And what
Missions rarely fail me.
And what can he who is called a Haruspex, a warden, and the Ripper offer me? I wanted to explain myself. Explain yourself? Your very self? How curious. Speak. I've found myself rather preoccupied with matters of identity lately. Seems that I've abandoned those matters all too early, seeing what they have done to me. Our conversation's taking a strange turn. No, it isn't. Your father had invited you to his own funeral, and so you arrived, only to find him murdered. You then came into an inheritance, saddled with an obligation to save a creature that you know nothing about, but making a panacea. It also warned you of a sacrifice it will inevitably require. Is that correct? It is. So they've made you invent a panacea. An unexpected move. How could anyone make me? You were masterfully led to this conclusion by the circumstances. You considered the creation of a panacea your principal goal. And do you really believe it was your idea all along? So what am I guilty of? Oh, please. No one is blaming anyone here. Who in the world would call you guilty? The powers that be tricked you. You were set up. Who led you onto this path? Who was this malicious influence? You are but a pawn in their clumsy hands, a tool for someone else's execution. Let them foresee my steps and use them in their scheming. That doesn't rob me of my freedom. That's some nerve. Or am I missing something? Listen to me, you silly man. You've been played, manipulated. My position comes with perks, facts, access to information. Don't you believe me? Do you need proof? Do you expect me to change my decisions just for the pleasure of spoiling someone else's schemes? My choices are driven by familial obligations and love. That is reason enough for me. A worthy answer. Yes, it is worthy because it's honest. It's strange. I never thought of it like that before. Is it really that simple? Being yourself isn't simple. Incredible. Let me take a closer look at you. Perhaps you were sent to me by fate. Wait, I need to think. Take your time, and no need to worry about formalities. I prefer honesty to politeness. Yes. Here's what I think. The Bachelor told me you need a man-bull hybrid. I have a theory. Go to the Abattoir. It won't be closed. All entrances and exits are open on account of my arrival. No way. Everyone who survived the termitary lockdown is going back there. Use this to your advantage. Go to Foreman Oyun. Ask him about Aurochs. Aurochs, I guess? Yeah. Demand a part of the bull that I know was slaughtered here yesterday. Go. Why the long face? Go. Go before it's too late. Okay, I have no idea what just happened, but I'm on my way. What happened is exactly what happened with the Bachelor campaign, which is that Aglaya is somebody that everyone's terrified of of the consequences of her arrival, but at least we're 2 for 2 now of her working with both of us individually. She has a respect for these people and uses them as tools, and she's probably lying to us and manipulating us, but at the very least she's not attacking us. So now we've updated the map that has the Abattoir on it. This one's a little weird, because when I saw this one, I'm like, isn't this largely what we already knew the game looked like? In fact, it's lacking multiple things that we know are here, like the polyhedron. It is noteworthy, though, that this looks like the weird pile of sand we saw in the children ending, that are revealed this is all a game. A game within a game within a game. Whereas, like, yeah, the surrounding landscape is not that sloped in the reality of the 3D environment I get to see.
People never cease to amaze me.
Why are
I
you...
know too little about the limits of what is possible.
Why are you giving me that look? I love giving people looks. And that's the end of that one. Alright, we're going to the Abattoir on day 7. So I have access to the Abattoir for the entire second half of the game, not just the final quarter. Well, no. I almost had access during the final quarter as the Bachelor, but then didn't. But I have access to it for the entire second half now, which was kind of expected. We're a little early, but it's still expected that I would get access, because otherwise, what the hell was I gonna do ultimately? No. No, bad. Leave me alone. Oh, you son of a bitch. Where'd that even come from? I didn't even see that. Oh, nope. Time for you to get punched in the back of the head. Back of the head, back of the head, back of the head. Man, at the beginning of the day, I kind of felt bad about my long rant about the tabletop game where I subjected to you guys what might have been an entire episode just walking, which admittedly is what the game genuinely is at times, but I felt bad about that. But I feel like I'm making up for it now, because Jesus Christ. This later part of the mission is just me going across the entire map over and over again. Like, this is excessive, right? Holy crap. They're making me cross the entire map because the Inquisitor and the Abattoir are on opposite sides of the map. And I have to do that for every objective, more or less. Like, I went from the Abattoir to the Inquisitor back to the Abattoir. I'm like, and I started at the Bachelor. I went from the Bachelor to the Termitary to the Inquisitor to the Abattoir. I crossed the map so many times. Oh my god. Oh, enjoy that jump cut. I had to feel it in real time. Oh. Can't jump cut in real life. Hey though, we get to see the Abattoir finally. It looks spooky. What the fuck? That guy just did a fucking parabola. He's a witch. The Abattoir is really vertical. How'd you guys dig up that high? Oh wait, no, this is a... Wait, no, is this tunneled into the mountain, or is this the underground area? I mean, or is this that building? Or is that the building that we see, the boob building that is the Abattoir, is that tunneled into the mountain? I'm not super sure. It looks like stone from here. A little back room over here. Hey there, can I talk? Nope. Can I talk to you? Nope, seems like the same NPCs from the Termitary, and similarly non-interactive. Including those guys running around like lunatics everywhere. Alright, that's... That must be here then, right? Aglaya knows about my chimera. The man-bull hybrid. She sent me to the foreman without a second thought. She mentioned an Aurochs Supreme. How does she know so much? That's all flat warning me before. That was back when I left here to go to the Inquisitor, and now I'm all the way back. Man. I want to remind you that whatever happens here, I'm probably going to have to report to the Inquisitor. So I went from the Bachelor to the Termitary to the Inquisitor to the Abattoir, which is just saying the far left to the far right to the far left to the far right. And now I'm probably going to have to go back to the Inquisitor when I'm done, which means the far left again. So it goes Bachelor, Termitary, Inquisitor, Abattoir, Inquisitor is the most likely case. That's crossing the entire world map 5 times in one day for one quest. Let alone any other side quests, although I haven't really noticed any other side quests besides the one that was barely anything. I talked to Tai Cheek, and then I talked to the guys across the street, and then to Tai Cheek again. That was such a brief quest with no real stakes besides the mandatory fart cloud. That was not a very nice thing of them to do to me. It's starting to feel like today this is the only real quest of the day, which makes sense because it's a dick of a quest. That's a deep hole. Oh, we're hearing a new song. Oh man, I love that sound. It's my favorite sound. It's the sound of when somebody doesn't put new batteries in their fire alarm. It keeps going off at random intervals. It's like, oh, just put it in a battery. Oh, hello, creepy Flora. It's like, Andrew, come on, we gotta record. Please put a new battery in your fire alarm. We can't have that going off at random times in the recording. Oh, this goes nowhere. Cool. These are just scaffoldings. I get really interested in these really odd side locations. Like, look at that. There's like a giant pyre. There's mega holes. There's a weird looking bridge. Unfortunately, these locations are usually underutilized and don't have much going on in them compared to the city that all the gameplay happens in. So every now and then you'd be like, oh, we're in the termitary. Ah, we're in the abattoir. Ah, we're in the polyhedron, or we're in the caves under the theater. But usually there's like one thing to do there, or at most you might come back periodically to meet the one NPC that's there. It's a little bit of a bummer, because having this place having its own economy of its own, or a series of different characters in it, or maybe even spending a whole day here might be interesting. But you're usually just here to meet the one dude. Oh, the cows. You guys took all the cows. I think all the ones by my house are gone now. Okay, I'm liking the song now, actually, now that the new instrument's been added. I don't know how to describe the soundtrack of this game. It's almost vaguely like somebody asked Darren Korb to make a soundtrack for a Silent Hill game.
There's no true warden among you.
I'm basically saying it's the midpoint of like a Bastion in Silent Hill. Are you blind? Or what's going on with your eyes? Are you okay? His eyes are like yellow. But he clearly has like eyes. Could they not afford contacts, or are his eyes bugging out? Oh, is that his pupil right up there? I think his pupil's up there. It's stuck in his eyelid. I think he's bugging out. I think the eyes are supposed to be there. Yeah. You look like a fucking battle chief, by the way. Holy crap, he looks like he's from a different game. Oh, new stuff we've never read before. The foreman of the abattoir. Vlad the Younger's take on him. He's not 100% human, rumor has it. He's a descendant of bulls. He oversees the work since he comes from a Menku family. The abattoir's transformation into a prosperous industrial facility that simultaneously remains a pagan temple only happened due to his efforts. I have no idea how he manages to do it. Victor Kane's take. The lower level of town management is reserved for Chthonian creatures indeed. We cannot simply ignore them. Each of them has established this certain reputation within his enclave. The foreman in the abattoir, bad grief in the catacombs beneath the warehouses. There's catacombs beneath the warehouses? This is the first I've heard about that. You can't really feel the presence of the town itself. It crawls sideways, grabbing those who make an unwitting step towards it with its invisible tentacles. The tentacles being the Twyrene market for grief, and the echoes of our town's past for Oyun. Why don't they call him Oyun? They just call him the foreman of the abattoir, but everyone calls him Oyun. I'm surprised that isn't his name, for, you know, video game naming purposes at least. I wonder if the catacombs beneath the warehouses are now a new thing for me to look out for, to eventually visiting as one of these characters, like the abattoir itself was. I know who you are, kindred one. Do you know how to address me? Tell me. You are to call me Elder One. Why don't they call him that there, then? You have been brought up away from the vein of Bodo, yet you have decided to come back. You are nothing here until the kin takes you in. Obey the customs. Obey the right. Obey the line of succession. Obey. What does the Erdug brand mean, Elder One? Silence. Who gave you the right to ask me questions without my permission? Wow, that's a facial expression right there. Okay, I see his eyeballs now. Huh. Animations. All right. He's confusing. He's like a cowering animal that's growling, like a scared small dog. The way he keeps dipping his head down, like to cower, but also keeps growling strangely. It's not very intimidating. It's more. Well, it's a little intimidating, but it's not. It doesn't make. It's not the type of intimidation you get from somebody that sounds like they're powerful and in control. It's the type of intimidation you get from someone that sounds like they're unpredictable and dangerous because they might be just crazy. The one who sent me here, Elder One. I do it in their name. Who directed your steps? The Inquisitor, the emissary that came to the town last night. Then ask. Tell me what an aurochs is. Aurochs is the name given to a kindred bull by merchants of old. We call him Bos Primigenius to honor the knowledgeable one that had shown him to us. I know of that name. He is Mother Bodo's flesh and blood, his form congruent to the universe, his lines the line of the world. There is nothing in the world that is not contained within the body of a supreme. His white flesh tells the march of time. His blue flesh rules waters and rains. His brown flesh keeps the heat in. I'm aware of that. Aware? What are you aware of? Are you aware that his ribs are mountain ridges? That his skull is the firmament? His juices are rivers, his hair is herbs and grass and roots. His voice is the song of Bodo. In his seed the joy of Bodo's vein. His black blood, the time and memory of our earth. Are you aware of that? I already don't like this guy. He's kind of insufferable. So you've opened up a Supreme not so long ago, haven't you? I have, as was my right. Who else but I, a warden, the foreman of the Abattoir, is to open a Supreme's lines up? Give me a gulp of his blood. You are impudent, son of Bodo. Aren't you pushing it? I act in the name of the ones who sent me. You know what emissary came to the town last night? I know that all too well. Let it be so then. I will give you as much blood as you can carry away in your cupped palm. This is the price I am willing to pay to buy us peace and get rid of the emissary. I know neither of you. I know neither of you nor of your name, and so you will get not a single drop more. Give me your hand. I am Artemy Burrock, son of Isidore Burke. You know me. You know both me and my name. Oh, but that didn't seem to change the result.
Mother Bodho warns her kin. Bodho's veins feed them.
How much blood do you have left? You have asked too many questions, kindred one. Be on your way. Yet you haven't answered. Alright, well, he sucks. What is up with his stance? Whoa, he's fucking tall. Oh my god. But the
Grief, kindred one.
Weird.
You are unwanted here.
He's really fucking tall. Admittedly, the boots look a little tall, but not that tall. Maybe that's why his eyes. Maybe that's why he looks weird during conversations, because he's looking down at me, but the camera doesn't reflect that the way it should. So it just goes up to his head level as if that's how he looks. I can accept that when it goes down to the level of short characters, because you might assume that Artemy is crouching for the children. But when it's a giant man, I feel like the camera should just tilt up from Artemy's height instead of floating up to their height. Because I didn't actually get any impression he was that big. Especially since he's in a giant open cave with no walls or any sense of scale around me. It's all a foreign location. So when I see him, I'm like, sure. He looks like he's floating in a void of stone, so I don't have any sense of scale of how tall he is till I walk right up into him and see that I have to look up at him. And I feel like his scale could be more intimidating if the camera reflected it as such. Hopefully I can find my way back out of this place. Oh, that's probably it right there. Let me guess, go all the way back to the Inquisitor? And so I'm ready to proceed with perhaps the most important deed of my life. I have to collect the purest twirine decoction and prepare the purest death gruel imaginable. I'll make the panacea, a natural vaccine based on the blood of Aurochs. When the precious potion is ready, I'll give it to Glaya Lilich. Okay. So I need to take this stuff and I need to make something out of it. It features blood, so I probably can't make... What are they called? The twirine extract out of it. It's probably going to be a gruel, because the sample I just got is blood. It's 4 p.m. We're making good time, I think. Yeah, the sample I got is blood. That means I put it in the organ slot, which means I take 2 twirine extracts, and then that's how it worked, right? 2 twirine extracts and organ combined to make the gruel, I believe. I gotta revisit that mechanic. I haven't really utilized it. And now I'm gonna make a panacea, presumably. It's gonna escalate quickly.